You know, back then during Mwai Kibaki's era, we used to have First Lady. Remember Mama Lucy? Lucy used to stand firm and correct even the CSS whenever they did something wrong.
Here today, and I'm going to say, Minister Saitoti, he waits until he hears of bandits in Northeastern, bandits somewhere else, and the next day you see him there. Internal Security Ministry means you protect everybody in Kenya. You stop accidents. Don't tell me that is the job of the Minister for Transport or for roads. No, it is yours. It is for Professor Saitoti. It is yours. I was angry yesterday. Last evening when I saw him on TV, he has gone to that spot where 118 Kenyans died. And this is all he had to say. I hope you Kenyans, this tragedy will teach you a lesson. He told us that this tragedy will teach us a lesson. How can the dead people be taught a lesson? They are already dead. And I wondered, why did he fly all the way from Nairobi to go tomorrow to say that? To hurt the people who are already mourning their dead.
So my question is, where is our First Lady right now? Which role or what role is she doing as the First Lady of the Republic of Kenya to defend Kenyans against this rogue government or against anything that's happening? And do you really think that we will ever find a First Lady like the late Lucy Kibaki? You know, fellow Kenyans, I'm starting to believe something here. That a lot of things are happening in this our country secretly, that not unless they are exposed like the way we normally dig deep and find out, then we are going to be doomed. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever heard that blood is a business that people do? Like, how can you turn people's blood into a business? Like, that is the business that you run in a country. You know, we've had people doing businesses. Tumesikia watu wanauza miraa, watu wanauza bangi, watu wanauza sijui nini, watu wanauza gold, fake gold, watu wanauza mafuta. But have you ever had in a place or in a country where people are selling blood? Yani watu wanangojea, watu wanaenda wanachukua damu ya watu, yani wanaenda wakati pale ambapo watu wanafanya blood donation, wanachukua hiyo damu, alafu hiyo ndio biashara ambayo wanafanya. And they're surviving with that. They're doing it secretly, thinking that nobody is going to know, thinking that nobody is going to discover, and that is how they live. And mark you, the people that are doing this thing are people who are very great in the nation. There are people who are trying, they're just like, they think that nobody is going to know the secret that they do. Now, fellow Kenyans, I want us to talk about this issue of blood business. Selling other people's blood as a business. But before you do that, let me humbly request you that if at all you're meeting for the first time, please don't forget to click the subscribe button. You can as well, like, you can share, drop me your comment in the comment section, tell me what you think and where exactly you are watching this video from. If you're in the country, tell me which county number. If you're outside the country, tell me which country. Drop me either the color of the flag of the country where you are in the comment section. As I normally say, that feedback is normally the key thing in any form of communication. Let's embark on our discussion. And let me start by asking you this question. I remember when I was in campus, there was this thing that used to happen after every 3 months actually. The issue of blood donation. Ulikuwa unapata mkitoka hostel pengine mnaenda lecture, mnapata hao watu wanakuja watu hospitali wanakuja, and then you donate blood. It's like you're donating blood. And then you go there, you donate your blood, and then unapewa mkate na soda, unakunywa, alafu unattend lectures. Hii kitu ilikuwa inafanyika mpaka primary, high school. Actually primary haikufanyika sana. Penye ilifanyika sana, I witness ilifanyika sana ilikuwa high school. Since I joined form 1, form 2, form 3, they used to come after every 3 months. And then hapo ndo unapewa kadi ya sijui blood group. blood group. I have several of them. I used to donate my blood, but you know, by then we didn't have the idea. We didn't have this issue of, can we ask ourselves these questions of where is this blood going to? Because hata saa hizi ukijaribu kutrace, uanze kujiuliza ya kwamba hii damu ambayo unasikia iko kwa hizi hospitali, alafu mtu wenyewe akipeleka hospitali unasikia kwamba wanataka damu, hii damu inaenda wapi? There is something that has been discovered that has been disclosed here concerning William Ruto's family. And there is a lady here by the name Shola who is saying this. Let me just take you through what she's saying, and then you will tell me what you think at the comment section. Let me just read it for you. Here is something even more interesting. Early today, I exposed that some people and institutions exported 4,892 kgs of Kenyan human blood and blood fractions in 2024, equivalent to roughly 9,000 to 11,000 blood donations. Now, here is where it gets even more interesting. In the same year, CHARLINE RUTO ran a nationwide blood donation campaign for months, with Kenyans being mobilized across the country to donate blood to save lives. It was heavily covered by the media. And now, we know blood and blood-related products left the country through export. And while all this was happening, hospitals across Kenya were still reporting shortages, with families being told to look for donors themselves. The exporters reportedly made over 20 million Kenya shillings from those exports, and that's what is officially captured in some documents. What about the one hidden in documents that aren't public? That is a contradiction. Kenyans donate believing they are saving lives locally, yet the blood is being sold abroad and local patients continue to suffer. Honestly, I have many questions now. Let's just read some of the comments that are under this. Of course, I know that there are several comments concerning the same thing. This is what is happening. It runs in the family, a family of leeches, taking anything and everything from the public. They are amassing family left, right, and center. At the moment, the father Ruto is hitting 90 billion spent in 4 years, while Uhuru spent 90 billion in 10 years. In 10, he will have spent more than 500 billion. Okay, somebody is asking, so now we are dealing with vampire bats. Okay, well, even the originals were not that hungry bloodsuckers. Clouds and Elijah need to come snap the necklace hell out of these minions or better yet, come compel them. At what cost are people going to enrich themselves? Lord have mercy on us. The world has gone nuts. And then I think, remember, that this was back in January, in January 18th, when CS Nakumincha appointed CHARLINE RUTO to a new role as Kenyan blood ambassador. Did we ask ourselves why CHARLINE RUTO was appointed as the blood ambassador? We didn't ask ourselves why. Remember when Nakumincha was the CS of health, and then immediately, that is in January last year, in 2024, CHARLINE RUTO was appointed as the blood. So how do you appoint CHARLINE as the blood ambassador? Okay, for what? Somebody are saying that demons, familia ya mashetani, Kenyans should open their minds and think the worst has been done with the blood, even witchcraft. This is greed of the highest order. We should stop donating blood. You make voluntary blood donation, then it exports. Yani Ruto will do anything for money. This level of greed ni ya betrayal ya yosi ni kando. Wanaiba hadi damu, blood suckers. I stopped donating blood in Kenya when they sold blood direct to Al-Shabaab. Blood donation needs to be broken down to county level. This is the only way to break up the national cable selling the much needed and freely donated Kenyan blood. Hii nayo I support whatever report you have. We have been asking mbona it's so expensive kupata damu, kumbe huwa wana export. Now let me come back to you. Those are just some of the few comments that were down there after that tweet. And let me now come back to you, fellow Kenyans. Have you ever asked yourself where ukidonate damu inaenda wapi? And then unasikia mtu amepeleka hospitali, amepata ajali, amepeleka hospitali ako emergency, and then the doctors comes and tells you that we need blood, like this is urgent, we need blood donation. Tunataka watu ambao, and then they tell you that tunahitaji watu ambao blood group yao iko related with that. How is it that you're going to get somebody who is okay, a blood group? Utapataje mtu mwenye the blood group corresponds, and then you are expected to donate that blood? Hizi damu ambazo watu wanatembea kwa ambulance, madaktari wanatembea kila shule wakienda kudonate, where do they go? Kwani hao watu kunywa damu za watu ama ni nini ufanyika? I'm really failing to understand. I'm really at this point where I'm asking myself these questions. Okay, what normally happens? Can we know what happens? How is it happening? How can we prevent these things from happening? Those are the kind of questions that sometimes we need to ask ourselves. Because this thing is beyond us. Like literally, this thing is we're really trying to relate what's going on, but we can't. Why? Because sometimes things happen, sometimes they come up, sometimes it's hectic. I really don't know what to think. But this family is a family of, and even it's quite embarrassing. Actually, it's really embarrassing. I just want to know what you think at the comment section.